Great. Terminal. It's all coming together. It's like the crunk meme. That's like probably my favorite meme at the moment. Okay. Here we go. So you might be wondering, Tyler, what are you doing? Why are you what's with all these stream setup changes? It's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Well, the gist is my stream machine, it needs some help. It really does. I don't know why it's so broken, but it is. I'm gonna take it into the place to get hardware fixed, and they're gonna take a look at it. In the meantime, here I am, streaming from my new Mac that I got from work. It was nice of them to do that. And actually, the whole stream is being run from that Mac, which is, honestly, I'm impressed that it all works. And if the latency isn't too bad, I could make this a reoccurring thing. Fix up those. This is actually Wi-Fi, believe it or not, Thomas. This is Wi-Fi. And I actually have, it's over there. But I have an Ethernet dongle, since it's one of those new MacBooks that has 4 ports and that's it. So, oh yeah, I'm looking over here. So yeah, so far so good, I think. We're gonna see how far we can go with this. All right. So let's talk about Kubernetes for a sec. So, I was messing around with it over this weekend, and I wanted to show you all what I've done so far. So, I took UniversalDashboard, which is Adam Driscoll's really nice web UI framework for PowerShell, and that's what this PS1 looks like, which doesn't really do much. It's just the hello world. It's amazing what you get for just these lines of code. And I said, all right, I'm going to try to, one, containerize this, and then second, Kubernetify. I don't know what the word is that we call it, but that. And yeah, we're gonna try to do that. And so so let me show you the Docker file, just so you have an idea. It's really simple. Catify. Oh, I kind of like that actually. It's pretty nice. So we're starting from the PowerShell container. So this is just when I was like, all right, I'm gonna Dockerize or containerize this Universal Dashboard. So we grab the PowerShell Docker file as a base. We install the community version of Universal Dashboard. We bring along with us that ud.ps1. We expose port 10,001. And then we just run the PS1, and that's it. Pretty simple Docker file. And so then I thought, all right, well, let's see if that works, and let's go ahead and do that. I'll show you that it does in fact work. This. Oh, that's unreadable. We're gonna have to zoom out. We're gonna zoom. We're gonna zoom. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well. Okay. We can only zoom in. We can't zoom out. Excellent. It's fine. It's fine. I guess we can make a new tab and try again. Gosh. It really is just, there's just so much there. All right, whatever. It doesn't matter too much. So this was the test one. So let's stop all of our containers here. You're gonna notice that I will have to go back to the help like a ton of times because I'm not in any way, shape, or form an expert at this. These are the ones that are running, and I think there's only one, this one. And this is running within Kubernetes. So let me stop that really quickly. So kube control get pods, I think. Yeah, so there's a pod there. Get deployments. Yeah. Okay. So I wonder then, can I just do delete deployment and then this? Cool. Nothing there, but the pod is still there and it's terminating and it's gone. Okay, good. So now ignore all of that we just did because that's on the Kubernetes side. Let's see, there's nothing running now. Cool. As we'd expect, there are a few containers that are spun down, which we can delete if we want, but it really doesn't matter too much. Let's just because, let's do it. Can I do this? Ugh, it's removed, isn't it? Docker, stop. Docker, RM, of course. RM, boom. Get out of here. Okay. Okay. Good. We are in a clean state. Excellent. So yeah. So like I said, that Docker file, this guy, I pushed this up to Docker Hub. So we can do like Docker pull, and I'm pretty sure I already did this. My username, whoa, blaming that on the touch bar. /ud hello world, I think is what I called it. Okay, and then I did Docker run and we did I think we just did this, and hopefully it works. Right, so then we got this, and then we can go to our browser and what? Oh, because I never exposed the port. I'm silly. Yes, you have to do that in Docker. P 10.0.0.1 :10.0.0.1, I think. Although I think you can just specify 10.0.0.1 once and it will figure it out. But there we go. We have it. Awesome. So Dockerized, done. Yeah, so 0000 is very special. Naturally, localhost points to 127.0.0.1, right? But 0.0.0 is that's like that also works in this case. You typically use 0.0.0.0 when you want to expose something to the outside. Because I know in some instances you can strictly host it on 127. Yeah, bound to any IP, right? But if you you got it. You know. Yeah, it works. So Scaprino, Tier 1, thank you so much. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Tell me, did the alert go off? I guess I could just check. Oh, wow, look at that text. What garbage is that? I'm gonna have to. I have to change that. I switched to Stream Elements because Streamlabs doesn't work on a Mac. Tragic me. Oh me. Oh my. Really quick. Just because I want Scaparino to show up there. There we go. There we go. We're talking. Now we're cooking. We're cooking with gas. Nice. And save. Cool. Did it work? Yeah, there we go. Now it says Scaparino, and 1 I think is the subscribe number for this session. Maybe I kind of want to change that. I don't know. There's a lot to do here. I'm redoing all of my stream setup for like the 15th time, so that's just how these things work. All right, so hello world, Universal Dashboard. By the way, I can't forget. I need to do this. I just need to retweet. The bot is a little trigger happy, isn't it? Hello? We're live. Kubernetes and Kubernetes Helm and PowerShell today. And then you gotta have the emoji, which is the red circle, because we're live. That's required by law to do that. And we gotta also do this. Oh, I worked so hard on this name. Jeez. I'm just gonna set it right there. Okay. And we do the red dot. Live on. Should I do this? TylerLeonhardt.live. Yes. Okay. We did it. So, thank you, Brett. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And I do still, thankfully, have the... Where is it? There. Did I do it right? It's there. The Girls Who Code logo, because any money that I make from this stream is going to go directly to them. I'm not taking a single cent. So, all right. And I hope that the alerts thing is working. I think that's probably working. Anyway, so that was Universal Dashboard inside of a container. But now we need to do it. We need yet another abstraction layer, the Kubernetes side of things. So the idea for Kubernetes is pretty straightforward. But I think it's got this weird learning curve that's pretty tricky for some people. And so it's not entirely straightforward where to begin. So I'm going to attempt to do that in this this discussion. And number one is you start with a deployment. Kubernetes is all about managing a deployment type of thing. So it starts out with a deployment. Now, personally, from what I've seen online, how to do Kubernetes correctly is that you want to keep as much of your stuff in YAML as possible. This lives in the whole like infrastructure as code, like configuration as code world where everything is inside of a file rather than you writing a bunch of like one-off commands. And we embrace that in the PowerShell world as well, right? Like keeping everything in a script that you have in source control of some kind, right? So for Kubernetes, that's just a bunch of YAML. And so I'll show you this deployment.yaml that does the actual deployment to a Kubernetes cluster, and that's going to be like pretty much how we do like everything, how we actually like push this this out. Hello, Wild Genie. How's it going? What is the wave and what's the one? What's the significance about the one? Is that part of the emoji? Or like did something happen and I'm so bad with Twitch culture. I don't know it. I'm going to TwitchCon. Oh, it was 1 bit. Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Wild Genie. Okay, I know about that one. It's just it's hard sometimes, you know? Okay, look at this YAML. This YAML does the entire deployment to our Kubernetes cluster. Now, just so you know, the Kubernetes cluster that I'm using is local on my machine. I installed the Docker for Mac, and it comes with Kubernetes baked into it, which is cool. I think I had to go to preferences and like turn it on, but it seems like the Docker desktop thing is like starting to bake in Kubernetes, which makes it really easy to just like mess around with stuff like on the fly. Oh, Wild Genie, thank you so much. 2 bits, that's awesome. I think that's like the most I've ever had. No, actually, I think one other person gave me, I think it was like 10 or something, which was impressive. But thank you. I don't know if you heard this, but any money that I get from this stream, I donate all to charity. And this time, the charity I'm supporting is Girls Who Code. So I'm sure they thank you for that, and I thank you as well for supporting. So this YAML. Most of the Kubernetes YAML files are broken down into these 3 top-level properties. Number 1 is API version, which is pretty self-explanatory. The kind is, what kind of like file that we're going to deal with here. In Kubernetes, they've got like a whole bunch of like different like object types, in which case they're called kinds. And they all take different shapes. So this kind, in our case, is a deployment. There's also things like a service, and then like technically a pod itself, which is like where the container runs, is technically a kind. And they have a whole like it's kind of weird. They've got this whole like concept of these like objects, which means PowerShell could be very, very good here. All right, metadata is where you describe the kind of stuff that you want to be associated with this deployment. So I gave it a name, UD Hello World deployment, and then I gave it gave it a label. And the labels are for this app, it's UD Hello World. The labels are super, super powerful in Kubernetes, but we'll go into that in a sec. All right. All right, and then the spec is basically all the details about the deployment. So if you switch this deployment with like service is another type of kind, the spec is going to be completely different. So here's the spec which relates to deployments. And then now number 1 is replicas, which is basically how many additional pods, additional like we say pods, but pods are really just like containers running inside of a pod. It's just like one layer on top of container. And technically you can like shove multiple containers into a single pod, but I'm not going to go there. Just think of it like the pod is what wraps a container, right? So we're asking for 1 replica here. I could put whatever I want there, and it will Kubernetes does a really great job of making sure that is always true. And if it's not true, then it will do whatever it takes. It will do whatever it takes to get to that desired state. So if I kill one of the pod, one of the pods, then Kubernetes will automatically spin up a new one until this like number is met. All right, so then this is interesting. We're gonna skip selector for now. Now, the template part is where you actually put your pod definition. So in the Kubernetes world, you can like create a pod, a single pod, and shove whatever you want inside of it, be it like just a bunch of containers or whatever. However, people don't actually do that in practice. Typically what they'll do is they'll do a deployment of pods, right? And so that's kind of like what this deployment file is all about. So the template here is actually what you would see if you were making a pod yourself. But the deployments make it nice and easy and deal with replicas and that sort of thing. So this is typically the entry point that people use for Kubernetes. So again, this has a metadata and it has a label app UD hello world. So the spec here is now the spec for the pod, and you see I have containers. We're going to use this image, give it some resource limitations, and say that we want to open this port. This is a port we care about in this container. All right, and then the thing that I glossed over here, which was the selector, basically says I want this deployment to deploy anything that matches this label. And so that's how you get this like deployment is tied to the to this pod type of thing. And that's the whole file, and that's it. It's obviously a lot up front, but if you just kind of like mess with it, tweak the values, see how they work, you start to see it all coming together. So let's go ahead and deploy that. Now there are two ways that we can do this. Number one is using kube control, which is some like clients that you can download that talks to the Kubernetes API that's running on your machine or wherever the Kubernetes cluster is. And to do that, we could do, I think it was apply. So it's kubectl apply -h. And I want to say it was, gosh, there's so much output, geez. Where's the simple ones? Yeah, here we go, file. -f, and then we pass it the deployment.yaml. Okay, so it says it was created, so then we can do kube control get deployment, and there we go, we have one. Now it says it's up to date and it's available. Hard to believe. But if we do get pods, we see that we have a single pod running. And I think there's a command here called describe that gives us all the details about this pod. We see its IP address, we see the port, and all that fun stuff. So you might be thinking, all right, well, all right, we should be able to just refresh this, right? Because it should be working. Actually, that other container might still be running. Let me get rid of this guy. Stop this guy and remove him. Goodbye. Anyway, so you might be thinking, you know, all right, we did it. We Kubernetesed. We did it. So this is gonna work, right? And it doesn't. And the reason why it doesn't work is because we've never actually exposed any ports outside of our Kubernetes cluster. Right now, that container has exposed this 10,001 port, but only like within side of the whole cluster, so you could have multiple containers talking to each other without exposing any ports to the outside world, which is another like huge feature of it. So in order to like actually expose a single port to the outside world so we can see it in our browser, we need another YAML file. And that's going to be our service.yaml. Now, it might look, some of these might look very similar. So API version, kind, metadata, and spec, right? Those are always going to be there. This time, the kind is a service. Now, what a service does is it acts as like kind of a little load balancer. Not like a fully fledged load balancer, but very similar to one. A load balancer among a bunch of different pods in a Kubernetes cluster. So remember I had one replica there, and I don't know. I think that means that I just have one. But let's say I put replicas as 2, and I had 2 pods, both running the universal dashboard inside of them. I could have a service that says, hey, and we'll look at the spec. The selector is app ud hello world. So hey, gather up all of these, the pods that have this selector, app hello world, and then just load balance requests amongst them. And like Kubernetes takes care of the rest. So, you know, we don't have to figure out what the IP address is. We just use this selector, and we're like, and Kubernetes can figure out what pod you're trying to talk about. There was this cool video that I watched on Pluralsight that was like, people will like version the selector. So then like, as you're rolling out a new thing, you can like version it so that you can spin up new things, switch the version of the selector, which routes everything to the new stuff. And then if you need to roll back, you just change the version of the selector, and all you had to change was the service, and you didn't have to change any of the pods. So there's like so much power here for sure. And so then the last thing that we're saying is ports here, which is essentially what we are exposing to, since we're using node port here. Node port says, all right, I'm going to expose a port to my to outside of my Kubernetes cluster, and that's what we're going to do. So here you see that my target port is 10,001. That comes from UniversalDashboard. The port is the port that service has inside of the Kubernetes cluster. And then the node port is actually the port that's exposed to us. So you might be wondering, like, why is there a node port and a port? And the port is nice because if you want other services or other pods that aren't a part of this service to leverage this service, it's really easy to do. You just use like port 80 here. But if you wanted to, you could expose a different port to us. So there, you know, there's at the end of the day, all of this is just like a ton of flexibility, right? That's really what it is. So let's go ahead and ship this off to our cluster and see what we're going to do with that. So I think this time I'm going to use the PowerShell commandlets. So there's this really cool thing. Let me see if I can find it again. Here we go. PS kubectl, which is basically, so Felix here, he made this module for interacting with the Kubernetes service, but rather than using kubectl, you would use this PowerShell module. And it's nice because it's very much so like PowerShell friendly. So if we look at the docs here, so we got app management, get kube resource. Let's go ahead and grab that, and let's see what we can do with this. Thomas said, did you write all of that or did it come with UD? I'm not sure what part part you're talking about. I wrote all of the YAML and the Docker file. The only parts that I took from UD is that little like hello world.ps1. The rest is handcrafted by yours truly, and I have to say it's incredible because I wrote it. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that type of person. All right, so get kube resource, and we can specify a kind, and watch this. Look at this. Look at this tab completion. Look how awesome that is. So what did we do? We made a bunch of, we made a pod, right? So we can see all of my pods here, and it even includes internal ones, like the kube scheduler, all these other ones, DNS and stuff like that. And but at the top there, you see we have our hello world there, right? And so if we look for deployments here, we see we have our single deployment here. Cool. What else can we do here? We can look at the logs. See, here's the thing that I really like that he does is that he's like, here's the commandlet. This is what it's like in kubectl. And look at this. Look at this. One commandlet replaces 2 commands in kubectl. It's pretty freaking cool. So this is the powerhouse, right? We used kubectl apply to do that deployment. So now let's try using update kube resource. I've actually not tried running this, so I'm believing in you, Felix, if you're out there. So path, and we want to deploy our service, and it should be just this. Oh, that's not a good sign. Maybe we have to do something different. Here, let's try his example here. Although that's very suspicious. Here, let's do it this way. Yikes. Let's try passing in like this. Update. There might be a bug there. Uh-oh. Input does not have kind set. Editing a field before updating. Uh-oh. We got some issues. We're gonna have to open an issue. It does, doesn't it? The dictionary. Yeah, let's see. We should open a bug. Let's just open a bug right now. Can't run. Oh man, I was so upset. I was really expecting that to work. With the exception of that, like it's really well put together. And honestly, they're like, I've seen Felix's work in the past, and he's really good. Let's give him the error because that's important. This one. Exception. I think this is an internal. This is more of a, yeah, this is more of a cast exception. I wanted to give him the line number, but this might be like, let's see what the stack trace says. Oh no, this would be good for him. Cool. Let's grab this. All right. We'll fall back to the apply. Tried running on my stream, but ran into issues. This was on Mac OS and also with the following service.yaml. YAML. Gosh, that would have been honestly so cool, wouldn't it? If that had worked. What a shame, what a shame. That's all right. We'll get them next time. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. That's for you, Felix. Are there any other options that we have here? Let's see if we can at least get one of these working. Maybe like this one. But I have a feeling that it's the YAML deserializer that's the problem. Because if I do convert from kubeyaml, yeah, see it fails to parse. So all right, he'll have to work on that one. But let us still just use kubectl apply, and then -f service.yaml, and boom, unchanged. I guess I already had one there from leftovers. Let's see, get kube resource kind service, and it's, where is it? There it is. Cool. All right, so now YAML whitespace parsing causing issues. I failed to acknowledge it. Yeah, it very well could be. But anyway, so right. Here's our service. Let's actually grab that service. Name. And we'll call it this guy. And that's not the one we wanted. Is it? That should have worked. Did I mess something up? UD hello world service. Strange. Okay. Dot. We want to look at the metadata, maybe. Yeah, here we go. Right, so we expose the node port as 3000. Yeah, look at this annotations. It's got like all the information about that service that's running, which is really nice. Cool. So node port is 30,000. So then, assuming we did everything right, we should be able to go here, 30,000, and it works. There we go. That guy's running on Kubernetes, and I made the resources like very, very constrained, which is probably why it took a little bit of time to load, because I was messing around with that. But yeah, so now that is a PowerShell Universal Dashboard running inside of a container inside of Kubernetes on my machine. Cool. So what's next? Well, now I would like to try to throw it up in Azure. Yeah, let's see. How's this going, by the way? How's the stream running? Is it okay? I can't see. I wish I had some sort of like information. The chat here is nice, but I can't see anything. Like I don't see how many like people are in chat. Although there they are. There they are. But, you know, yeah, it's kind of weird. And then I want to get the chat. Well, actually, what am I saying? The chat is right here. I was going to say, like, I want to overlay the chat on my screen, but I've had the chat on the screen the whole time. So it works. Checks out. No, not Cosmos DB. What the heck? I want this one. Oh, I can't wait to try this. I've never done. This is literally the first time I've ever gone through this flow. So you know, it's probably gonna work first time, guaranteed. All right, here we go. UD hello world. LOL. We're gonna call it this region Central US. What kind of guy do you think I am? Central US. I'm on the West Coast. Give me the West ones. Actually, honestly, Central could be closer to me. Depends on where West US is, but it's fine. The version, I don't know. Which one does this have? This has Kubernetes 1.14.6. We're going to go with that one. Sure, DNS, fine. This is so big, so, like, beefy. I don't need this. I need, like, look at this. $84 a month. What am I, made of money? I gave all my money away to charity. No, I need the cheap stuff. Give me, yeah, here we go. There we go. We found it. The M64 16 MS for $7,000 a month. That's the one we want. No, we're gonna go with this one because I'm poor. I'm not actually. No, I'm not. I don't want to say. I don't like saying poor. I'm not gonna say that. But a barn burner. What? I've never heard that phrase before. Glad to hear the stream is good. Had to do some AKS work yesterday. I found that getting AKS to authenticate with ACR was a bit more painful than it could have been. M64, perfect for your Minecraft server. Yeah, I mean, it's my Minecraft server is the most popular server in the world, so you know, you gotta run hot. So, all right. Context: I don't have a Minecraft server. Although my friend does. He actually went through a similar what am I doing? A similar experiment, I guess, with the Minecraft Docker container. And like it's like I love the idea of like using Minecraft server as your node and then like balance that. It sounds really cool. But yeah, he runs his own Minecraft server. I think it's really just like friends, but you know. All right, let's create. Oh, you try Minecraft on Windows containers. That sounds interesting. Potentially quite a struggle. Gosh. Oh, wait, what? Hello? It's not valid. See inner errors for details. How do I see them? Hello? Yep. I'm seeing the inner errors. They're not looking pretty good, to be honest. So we're just gonna try it again. We're just gonna try it again. We're gonna try it again. And this time it's gonna be LOL2. Because, that's how we do things around here. Fine. We're going to do Central US because that's what they say to do. So, and look at these. They're trying to force this $80 one on me. I don't want that. I want this one. I want the cheap stuff. All right. Let's see the validation pass. Literally tried to deploy a new AKS yesterday via PowerShell. After 30 minutes in creating state, I got an output of something. Oh, what is this? What? Server error. That's totally fair, Scaparino. I sympathize with that. This doesn't look good. Yikes. Honestly, you hate to see it. Try it again. Do it again. Go again. One more time. Hey, look at that. Validation passed. The old go back and try again. Oh, classic. Classic software, am I right? All right, let's see. Cross your fingers. I'm starting my CS fall. So Trebonator says, I'm starting my CS degree this fall and I'm looking for a laptop. Any recommendations? Well, it depends. Because here's the thing, right? I used a Mac all through college and I loved it. But there are some classes that I took that are very much so catered to Windows instructions. So it's going to be pretty case by case. That said, I don't know. These days, it doesn't matter which OS you use anyway. So I guess whatever you feel like you can be effective with. I used a Mac and I loved it. I can tell you it's a good investment because I still have the Mac that I got 3-4 years ago and it still works really, really well. But I have friends that have all from the Dell XPS line and they really love that line. It's these days you can't go too wrong. I've also had Surfaces thanks to this job, and those are really nice too. Depends on what you think you're going to be doing. If you have any sort of context into what stuff your CS degree will be about. I think it's working now, which is a good sign. We're just gonna sit here and wait. I feel like I need a slide for waiting, where we're just maybe put maybe a YouTube video of a fireplace or something, and we're just sitting there chatting, waiting for this deployment to finish, and just kind of hanging out, taking it easy, nothing too crazy. It looks like we're almost there. A ThinkPad, nice. No, my coworker Rob, he's got a ThinkPad and he really likes it. He got one that was like pretty nicely spec'd. Those things are great. You never have to worry about like not having like the right like ports. And like if you ever like go down the road and you're like I want to like throw Linux on this thing, like Linux on ThinkPads runs like really really nicely. So that's always something to consider as well. Yeah, nice, Brett. That's really cool. I love the culture of like I've got this old laptop. I'm gonna throw Linux on it. It's amazing, right? Because we've acknowledged the fact that like if I run Linux, it's not going to be as resource intensive, and so I can get at least a few solid years left of this laptop if I run Linux on it for and do like a bunch of fun projects um, rather than like anything else. That's great. Nice, nice. See, that's awesome. Yeah, those ThinkPads are great for that kind of stuff because those like even Rob's even got a ThinkPad that's like at least 5 years old, and I think it still lasted him pretty long um, until he like upgraded to a newer one. So yeah, I mean there's some diehard ThinkPad fans for sure. I never owned one myself. Well, actually, I have one from work, and I put I put Linux on it, oddly enough. Ah, oh, Zubuntu, nice. Zubuntu, or is it or is it Xubuntu? I don't know. I don't know. I assume like I've always pronounced it as Zubuntu, but um, that could be totally wrong. Miss Tardis, hello. Your laptop's about to get Mint installed in it. Nice. Mint is great. I ran Mint a while on uh, my ThinkPad. Was it not ThinkPad? I ran it on something for a while, and it was great. I switched to elementary, but then I like, and that is super like pretty to look at. Um, but then like I get the occasional like issues with elementary that makes me wish I could have just settled for something else. I like should have just stuck to Mint or something like that. Um, and of course, PowerShell runs on all of those just fine. Because Mint, what is it? Mint is Mint also Debian based? Or yeah, I think so. So and Ubuntu or sorry, and Elementary is also. So all of that stuff just works with PowerShell. It's pretty great. As we sit here waiting for this, I get more and more nervous. We're gonna hit the refresh. You know. Starting to scare me. This was supposed to be the grand finale. What else? Putting some universal dashboard on your random old Linux box is also a fun use case. Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Tardis. I forgot. I knew it had something to do with that. Thank you. Um, yeah, you should do that. Universal Dashboard is pretty great. Adam's done a fantastic job with this. I mean, look at this. Look, this is the hello world. This is like 3 lines of code. Look at this. Look at this freaking piece of beauty. Now, the unfortunate bit about this is, yeah, I don't know how I would like iterate on this. I guess if I have my Kubernetes cluster using a local container, and then I continue to build my container with changes to this file, then it should all just work. Potentially. AKS, you're starting to scare me. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little nervous. Running. 7 minutes. Terrifying. Terrifying, honestly. Speaking of PowerShell, do you happen to know why normal jobs, not thread jobs, do not have a throttle built in? Huh. A throttle. Like, I guess because, like, since normal jobs are all process-based, like, you can spin up as many processes as you want. But with thread jobs, the more threads you spin up, like, I don't know, the more threads you spin up, the more, like, you're going to deteriorate your process. And granted, like, the more processes you spin up, the more you're going to deteriorate your, like, your system. So it's, like, I think it's a good idea to, like, include a throttle with normal jobs. But it's not as big of a deal. Hey, look, it worked. Okay, I feel a little bit of relief that everything's going okay. Hey, there we go. Woo! Awesome. That's exciting. All right. Here we go. Oof, gosh. All right, sweet. Where's the quick start? Node pools. Upgrade. Dev spaces. Move. That doesn't make sense. It should be in the overview. Yeah, this is the overview. This is the overview. What the heck? Okay. Let's try this. Okay. Context, right? Actually, I think there's so what I need to do now is I've got my cluster in Azure. Now I need to, like, set up kubectl to use it. So let's see, kubectl, that's H. Come on, just be quiet for a sec. Sorry, my phone was just going crazy. Okay. Cluster management, troubleshooting, advanced commands. Isn't there, like, a context one? Hello? No. I'm thinking of something else. I think I'm thinking of the actual, like, this one. No, I'm not thinking of this one. Let's see what this has. Set. Use. What is this? Oh, I see. Okay, so that's how I switch them. So Oh. AZAKS get context. That's dumb. I'm sorry, but like I want to not do that. Can I just not? Jeez. Brutal. Well then, AKS quick start. Yeah. What? To manage, you use this. To install kubectl locally. I like that we're in charge of installing that CLI. My goodness. Unbelievable. I really don't want to do that. I really don't. So sad. I don't like the Azure CLI. So I'm guessing the play here is that this install CLI has the context already like registered for you, and so that's how you can use it. Which I get it. That's fair. And I know there's like way to just to, oh yeah. Oh, okay. Got it. Get credentials command. This command downloads credentials and configures the Kubernetes CLI to use them. Got it. And Burgatronic already said that. Yep. Thanks. And of course, like, I know there's an AZAKS module. What does it expose? Oh. Let's try it. Okay. Get AZAKS. What? How bizarre. Let's try this. Hey, it worked. Okay. Okay. Good. Import AKS. Import AZAKS credential. Right. Resource group name. Love it. Name Yeah. Okay. Let's go back here. Get kube config. Aha. Cluster. UD hello world LOL2. Use kube context UD hello world. Okay. Okay, but we can't use this because we won't be able to deploy. All right, got it. And kube CTL should use set apply help. All right. The goal is to specify this I just want to deploy it to a specific context. Oh, it's so ugly. This output. Open API patch. Overwrite, record, recursive, selector, server, template, timeout. None of these are here. I guess I have to like change context. Like config, okay, current context. Oh, is UD hello world. Okay, apply -F deployment, close eyes and hope. Get kube deployment current updated available 0. Help. Okay, let me read through the chat here because I was focusing on this. Okay, it's not ready yet, which is a bit troublesome. But it might just, it still has to pull the Docker container and all that stuff. So maybe this is warranted. Well, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, it's up to date. Awesome. Yes. Yes, it's working. Okay, let me read through the chat real quick. Because I want to get some lunch soon too. All right. Burgertronic, aka, yeah, thank you for the command. 79123. I've studied programming 10 years and can only operate with cycles in C. Everything else is beyond me. How am I supposed to write some... I'm on the 3rd year of if my code looks... And okay, I'm not quite sure what you're saying there. Sorry. Install CLI, just thank you. Burgertronic, yeah, you have to... Okay, we're good. Eva302, hey, how you doing? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice, Scaparino with the sad Joey wave. I'm a fan. What's up? Not much. We are going to see if this deployment worked. And it looks like it did. But let's also apply the service that we did as well. Service. Okay. Is this here? No, I don't think so. Resource. Kind service. Okay. Here. Awesome. So it's there. So how do we do this? How to get IP address. Maybe we can get it from here. Service. UD star. The old store it, I don't know why I wrapped it in quotes. The old store it to an A variable, and let's get the metadata. All right, and we'll get the, I guess, annotations. There seems to be a bunch of stuff in there. Values? No. Keys? Nope. Well, really, we need to know. We know what the port's gonna be. It's 30,000. So really, we just need to know what the IP address is. Networking. Interesting. Aha, here we go. Aha. HTTP application routing. I don't know if we need that. Yeah, dev test clusters. I don't know what any of these are. It's really limited in what it tells you. Geez. HTTP application routing domain. Oh, you think it's this? No, there's no way. HCP, that's the API server. Yeah. Run the application. Service. Deployment. See, they did the same thing. Oh, a load balancer. Do we need one of those? Gosh. The load balancer. Looks like that's what we need. Yeah, otherwise HTTP routing, you can install an ingress controller and define ingress object. Thank you. Gosh, I'm sorry, this is a very difficult name. Icoa K main Icoa. Perfect. I like that. Sweet. Okay. Right. Service. This is just the back end. Service front. Okay. So where I went wrong was that I should have had this be a load balancer instead of the node port. Let's try it. Load balancer. Ports. Port. Node port. I guess I don't need anymore. Name HTTP. I'm sure that stuff is optional. Ports. selector. Okay. Looks good. Let's try it. Hiya. Okay. So, did that like light up anything? No. Okay, but now we can do describe UD hello world service. Service here. No. IP. Can't be that easy. Yeah, there's no way. You think I still have to wait a bit? Okay. That's fine. You say I have to watch it? This, where is it? This one. Get service. UD hello world service. Sure. Watch. Oh, hello. Well, hello there, external IP. You're looking pretty suspicious. Please work. $80 to 31227. Yeah, 80 is the correct port. That makes sense. Oh, there it is. Yes. Okay. We did it. There we go. Look at that. PowerShell Universal Dashboard running in a Kubernetes cluster in Azure. Beautiful. Well, I'm happy with today. I wish that I could have used the PowerShell commandlets more. But that's okay. I'm sure he'll fix them. He seems like he's pretty active on that. So yeah, I mean, like, this is it. These 4 files do all of this. Pretty wild. So then, what else should I do here? I think that's enough for today. I'm gonna have to spin down this cluster because I'm not. It's still pretty pricey. What was it, like $30-something? I don't have that kind of money, but naturally for an actual company, they could probably afford that. I guess that's it then. Oh yeah, Trebinator, thank you for trying out the commands command. Yeah, I switched to stream elements for the stream, and so there you go. It looks like it worked. Well, nice. I didn't need to install the Azure CLI at all. Could do all of it in PowerShell. And once the... yeah, so it's like, what? I don't know if this PS HTML one requires it. No, it doesn't. Implement it as fast. Okay. I'd be curious to know. It's possible to go straight to this without having kube control at all on your machine. That'd be interesting. Anyway, all right. So I think that's where I'll stop today, because I'd like to go and have some lunch, because it's almost 12:30 here. But overall, like the stream ran pretty smoothly, I'm guessing. Look, I got my Hacktoberfest shirt on. It's coming up very, very soon. Quality and content was good. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, we'll... I certainly want to do some more stuff with Kubernetes. I have to figure out where... So, like, you know, I think from this stream I've got a pretty good understanding as to, like, how this all works. Granted, there's, like, a whole long end of, like, infinite other things that you can do. But, I mean, this was pretty solid, to be honest. And, you know, one day this is going to work. And that's going to be even greater. And what I would love to figure out is, you know, combining this module, PS kubectl, or kube control, however you want to say it, but combining that with, like, Azure functions to, like, manage your Kubernetes cluster seems pretty cool. I think there might be something there. I don't know. I want to, like, mess around with it more. But, like, that is very Azure specific, of course. But I'd love to get to a point where we understand stuff like, what's it called? It's some nautical thing that runs JavaScript on events. Killing me. It's gonna come to me as soon as I end the stream. I just know it. Events. I'm thinking of... I never got to Helm. That's right. I never did anything with Helm today. Maybe that would be the next step. But it wasn't Helm. It was something else. Hang on. I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. Wow. I totally just blew right through a meeting today. That's awkward. Oh well. Hang on. I've got it. I got it. Bear with me. It's in Teams somewhere. I feel bad I missed that meeting. The name of it is called Survey Says. Yeah. I can't find it. I don't know. It's killing me. Something nautical. But that's the whole Kubernetes ecosystem. The idea was that JavaScript events would events would get fired from Kubernetes, and JavaScript would respond. Aha! Brigade. I found it. Yes. There it is. Wait. Yeah. Here it is. Event-driven scripting for Kubernetes. And look at this code for a second. So, look at this. Look at this. This is what you're gonna run when you receive this event. It's just a bunch of inline, some inline, commands. That's all it is. Isn't that weird? I'd love to figure out, because you can package PowerShell pretty well. I'd love to figure out if there's a way to make something similar. But look at this Slack. What are these jobs? Slack notify latest. It's a Docker container. It's so weird. Yeah, it's very strange. But, I'd like to look at this and see what's what, because is that not just executing against a specific node in the cluster? Yeah, I think it is. But why does it, why does it have to be all this JavaScript based stuff? Because it just means that you need Node in your cluster somewhere, or when you install Brigade, it either brings the Node runtime with it or something else. It just seems kind of strange. Yeah, you install it with Helm, which we never got to today. We'll have to do that next time. But yeah, I think there's potentially something here. See, Brigade is all part of it. Draft, streamline Kubernetes development. How much you want to bet this is some kind of DSL? Get draft. What does it look like? Nice little embedded ASCII cinema thing here. All right. Draft, create, understanding Turkey. Yeah. Building Docker image. What is this? Pushing Docker image. You're losing me here. You need to speed this up. Interesting. Yeah. That's kind of neat. That's pretty cool, actually. Look at this. So they're trying to, like, abstract, like, get rid of the YAML? Is that what they're trying to do? I don't know. Anyway, that's another story for another day. Looks pretty interesting, though. But this is all Microsoft, apparently. That's something I didn't know, is that we did Draft and Brigade and Helm, the package manager for Kubernetes. Yeah, we'll have to look at that. All right, I'm going to go have some lunch. But I hope this was informative. Like, I hope you got something out of this. That Kubernetes is not as, like, scary as it sounds. I think that's the case. But granted, there's like a billion other things that you can do. It's not this, isn't it? It's this one. There we go. Yeah, so thank you all. Look, these alerts, they get me every time. Has this been working? Latest followers has been working. Cool. Latest subscribers. Good stuff. Here, we'll switch to this view so you can see all yourselves chatting. Yeah, we did it. Exciting. All right, everybody. Next time, maybe we'll take a look at Helm. Potentially some other stuff as well. But I'll let you know. Until then, thank you all so much for joining, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Honestly, though, I should send you all off to someone. We should raid someone, because this is like, this is a really solid group of people. How many are on the stream right now? 27. That's pretty solid. So let's go to the team. Twitch.tv/team/livecoders, and let's pick someone. Okay. Who we got going on? All right, so Michael's got 25. Let's raid someone who's like a little bit less. What are you doing? Jekyll. Good stuff there. Implementing forms with Blazor. That sounds pretty fun. And what is this? Node Express and Second Life. Wait, what? Let's see. Come on, go away, ad. I'm curious to see what this is. Oh my gosh, hurry up, ad. Jeez. Wow, classic. Wild. What's she working on? Sweet. Looks solid. I think we should do this. All right. Gosh, I always forget how to do this. Raid. Okay. And then atomic. Yeah, let's do this. All right, everybody. I think I do this. And then we're about to raid this stream. So thank you all so much for watching. Let's go head over there and see what's going on. And I'm going to get some lunch as well. So thank you all. Bye. Bye. Hiya.